As a decorated and respected politician that you are, especially in the landscape of politics in Nigeria, in an interview you granted in June this year, you lamented about on the death of values in our with our politicians today. So my question is, what composition of values are actually needed for our leadership in a peculiar country like Nigeria that is struggling with development in all shores or all phases of life or affairs?
Well, let me start by the value that I was brought up with. Yoruba people have what we call Omoluabi. That is self-esteem, pedigree. The Bible always say, remember where you are coming from. Such value, when I was young, among the professionals that were highly respected in society were teachers, clergymen. Professionals were highly regarded. To be a medical doctor, you were celebrated. To be a lawyer, you were celebrated. To be a good journalist, you were celebrated. But when the military came in, they promoted some of those failures and gave them, promoted them. They were the ones who became contractors to military people, and they made money. And that was the time when the self-esteem in Yoruba, those who made money now became those who were given chieftaincy titles. We did not respect that of the philosophy anymore. We started celebrating money. Unfortunately, that was when the hospital collapsed. If you look at around the whole world, in UK, for example, many of those who get to be at the apex of British society are people trained in Ivy League universities, Oxford University, Cambridge University, name them. But same thing with Nigeria. It was a pride in those days to have gone to the University of Ibadan, to have gone to Ibadan University to do architecture. It was a pride to have been to Olusegun to study mass communication. But today, you find people contesting election who just lie about their background. So we start losing value. We did not respect intellectualism anymore. The day we started worshipping money, that was when we lost everything. And even the electoral process was bastardized. Nigerian voters now started selling their vote for 5,000 naira. That to me is the beginning of the end of true democracy in Nigeria. And we need to revive it.
All right, sir. So thank you so much again for that, sir. Before we go on a quick break, there's a message from one of our listeners. His name is Ayobami Okonlawo. He said, "Good evening, Real Talk with Kike. The social media is one of the last remaining places where Nigerians can express their opinions freely. But with the introduction of the social media bill and the hate speech by the government, which gives authorities and power to shut down the internet and limit access to social media and making criticizing the government punishable with penalties, don't you think this is a slide towards dictatorship, sir?"
Well, I've expressed my views over and over again in opposition to the hate bill. I am very opposed, and I'm going to fight with every inch of blood in my vein against the hate speech bill. But let me also be honest with you. Many of those practitioners on the internet, many of those bloggers are not trained journalists at all.
I agree.
Many of them are blackmailers. They are a disgrace to the profession of journalism.
Mhm.
Many of them, even myself, have been a victim of blackmail. Even from so-called Sana reporters. I've had occasions with blackmail when Sana reporters claimed that EFCC locked me up for 100 million contract, which was a bloody lie. But in spite of that, I'm still against the HD. The only thing I've been preaching with my colleagues is that we that are trained journalists, we that subscribe to the code of conduct of the Nigerian Press Organization, we that are trained in the profession should invade the internet, should also set up our own credible online medium, either as newspaper, as whatever you call it, whether online or whatever,
traditional media,
and create credible online information system. Let's take, for example, Criminal Times. It's credible. Just over time, we will kill all those useless writers who are in no way journalists. Many of them that I know, and they didn't study mass communication. They know nothing about profession. They have no respect for facts, and everything is twisted. But I will never support late bill. In spite of all the shortcomings.
All right. Thank you, Chief, for your wise appraisal of journalism in this profession. And I'm very grateful for how transparent and how on all the subjects, on all the questions that we've asked you. So, sir, we are here to get it right. Our budgetary approach is condemnable. Sir, you criticize National Assembly and its budgetary approach. What kind of approach will you suggest we take going forward?
Well, I blame both government and the National Assembly. Let me give an example.
Okay.
I cannot understand how federal government will budget to do 40 roads in 1 year in the country. Let's take, for example, if each of the roads costs 50 billion to construct, I want to do 40. Now we do get the money. I would have suggested that if I were the president, I would rather take a road each in each of the geopolitical zones of this country, the 6 zones. I will, for example, in Southwest, take the road from Lagos to Benin to the express road. That will take care of Southwest and part of South-South. I will, for example, take the coastal road in South-South. And I may decide to take Kaduna, Abuja. Then also in Central, take Abuja, Lokoja. Pick a road in the northeast and northwest. Concentrate on those roads in the budget. Instead of voting, let's say, for example, 2 billion this year on a 50 billion road construction. How many kilometers can 2 billion do on a road that's going to cost 50 billion? That is the problem. You will find that the coastal road in the South-South have been in the budget for the past 20 years, almost 15 years now, and no appreciable progress. Ibadan Lagos Express Road have been under construction since Obasanjo. No appreciable progress. Only recently that Fashola went frontally at it. So that's my first problem with the budget. And the reason is this. I hear that senators and House of Reps are saying that when Ministry of Work is budgeting, they must budget strategy for each of their other sectoral districts.
Yes.
or House of Reps. Tell me, would Lagos, Benin, Ibadan not take care of maybe House of Rep members in both Southwest, Southeast, and part of South-South, if you concentrate on that? Now, then, on top of it, I hear the legislators now that they want constituency projects. That looks to me, I can't understand it. And what are these constituency projects? Primary school, borehole, solar energy, is not safety. The legislators are there to legislate, to make law. They are not there to encroach into executive functions. The executive is to execute. They are to legislate. But because the executive itself wants to invade the national assembly or the legislature, so they start hanging on each other's throat. That's my problem with Nigerian government. When I was governor, I concentrated on certain rules and I went totally for it and completed it.
Okay. So, sir, listening to you, I can also help but ask this question because I know that zoned development you suggested is good for infrastructural development, like you said, but Nigeria is a country with plenty of political and ethnic sentiments. How do we undo the marginalization as this can be the outcry of some in following zones development approach?
As I said, let each concentrate on his own function and let the federal government also leave the state to function as state in charge of their own state and local government to be in charge of their local affairs. It is the only way that you can make appreciable progress in governance. But when the federal government decides to be involved in primary education in a country as big as Nigeria, my own education, primary education is local and cultural. I started my primary education in my language. How can anybody be in Abuja and understand over maybe 300 languages in Nigeria? It's not possible.
All right. So, sir, can you kindly hold your thoughts? We have a caller on the line. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Mr. Harrison, I'm calling from Nigeria.
Okay, what's your contribution today?
Yes, I've been hearing the story all through.
Okay.
For the very simple thing that the doctor refused to give out the scan is property of the couple. That is enough evidence. And as a layman, we don't need any expert to come to this story. The scan is the property of the couple. I've been using scan as a father for all my children. And as soon as the scan is ready, it is given.
All right, I think you just called on the wrong program. So, sir, again, I'm sorry for that disruption. I need to ask this question. Restructuring. You know, the unitary governance you once criticized. You know, true federalism you say is the way forward in Nigeria. Give us a real talk on true federalism.
I'll just develop it. I said education, for example.
Yes, sir.
My grandmothers and old people were the ones who fought for tried to teach me when I was small. Allah. They teach you the Yoruba mythology. They will ask you in Yoruba, who is that person that will knock the head of the king? Of course, he's the reason pay for cutting the hair of the king. And they will ask you, who is that thing that will pass through the palace and not pay homage to the king? It's of course the flood. When it rains, the water that will not stop to prostrate for the king. So that they were educated. And so I'm saying in a true federalism, what is the business of federal government in a certain road network, in education, in local governance, in local policing? If that local policing, somebody like Evans will not survive in first stack, keeping people in first stack. Because the local point to be people who understand the language. So true federalism has to be, in any case, and a true system is one where the money you make, the substantial part of the money, the revenue, is kept in each of the areas where the money is paid for. The value tax, the bulk of value tax comes from Lagos. And then you take it to the center and share equally.
All right, sir. So we have another caller on the line. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
Good evening. This is Bola Abudu from the Koko Lagos State.
All right. What's your contribution today on the show?
Thank you very much. I thank our daddy, that is Olusegun Osoba.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, sir.
Amen.
Thank you. Please, sir, I would like you to share something about the issue of this group. Issue of representative or not representative. Not a group that represented Yoruba, I represent Indigo, I represent Arewa. And if you are not voter, I don't know them. And I know they are being popular, you are any person, you are a great man, you are becoming with Shiva. You know how Shiva not become a leader in Yoruba. You have gone many lots of processes by being a political leader, by this because become a leader. But today you see people just come up, I'm a Yoruba leader, I'm a Hausa leader, I'm a Indigo leader. You can't win them. How do you see it? Thank you very much for that question.
Many thanks for your question. Yes, sir.
Well, you see, I see those groups referred to as pressure groups. My training that Papa Federal is that whoever controls the grassroots is the leader. Papa Olowo, to qualify to come to the national executive of his party, it is based on the number of votes that each leader is able to produce. A leader that produces 1,000 votes will have one delegate. The one that's able to produce 10,000 will have 10 delegates. So it is based on your control of the grassroots. I would rather say that those that you refer to are their pressure group. They are not the ones that control the political system. To me, if anybody says he's the leader, let the person form a political party and produce state assembly, national assembly, senators, governors.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, sir. This will be my last question to you, sir. With your decorated achievements and affluence in the world of politics, in administration and journalism, on a lighter note, is there anything you see aspire to achieve in life?
Well, I thank God. At 81, God has been very kind.
Yes.
He has given me good health. He's given me everything. I am over contented. All I'm praying for is for God to give me contented. For me, there's nothing else I'm looking for. Whatever God wants to give me now, if you give it to you, and all of you younger people, all aeroplanes, all good things of life, it will give to you. And when you have it, you can loan it to me.
Okay, thank you so much on that, sir. You know, it was an honor to have you on the show on Real Talk with Kike. And our closing remarks, courtesy Omoluabi personality from Goldberg, is Agbakinwa Loja Kiori Omo Tutuwo. I hope I said that right, well, sir. Thank you so much, sir. The wisdom and experience of an elder in a community is very critical to averting failures and a resource component for progress and development in any given society. That is the reason why we brought an elderly statesman to come in here today to come and analyze a lot of issues that we have politically, democratically, and also in the area of journalism. Again, thank you so much, sir, for your time this evening, and of course for sharing part of your evening with me, Kike Lomatondawo. So this is where I draw the curtains for today. Till I come your way next week, my name remains Kike Lomatondawo, and you have been on Real Talk. Bye now.